Hi, my name's Sterling, and you're learning American English with me. If you have not subscribed to my channel yet, please do so. I publish a new video all the time on very helpful subjects on becoming fluent in the use of American English. I'm going to talk today about the 12 major verb tenses in English, because if you can master these things, you have English mastered. And the easy thing that I'm going to point out to you is that there are similarities between the 12 tenses in English and all the things you want to say in Spanish. All of them share some kind of a similarity that you can assign a relationship to in your brain. So, of course, the ultimate goal is to train your subconscious mind to just automatically think in English structures. But at the beginning, this is not so easy. I know I'm doing the same thing in trying to become a fluent speaker in Spanish. Often I have to stop and I have to say, wait a minute, I'm thinking, and I have to go back and follow the roadmap I've put in my brain, which is basically the same roadmap I want to show you. What I'm going to give you here is just an outline for a basic grammatical roadmap between English and Spanish, Spanish and English. I think that it might be less important here to remember the proper names of these verb tenses, and what is more important is to know what the verb tenses mean on a timeline, because that's what verb tenses are about, what's happening in time. And in my hurry to write this, I did not include some of the names in Spanish, but I did include all the names in English. But you'll see when we go through the examples what I mean, and I think you will find this to be a great simplification. In the future, in these lessons, it might be effective to think out what these time tenses mean. But for now, you actually already know it. You just don't know it. You don't know that you know it. So here's a summary using the verb using the verb to do in English. And in the examples, I also use the verb hacer in Spanish. It's to be and hacer. In class, as we review these things, we can apply other verbs as well, but I don't have time for that in this video. I'm just going to give you some examples. To form all of these tenses, you need to be familiar with what is a past participle, what is a present participle, and you need to be familiar with the use of auxiliary verbs, in which case there are only two. There's to have in English and its Spanish equivalent, haber, and there's to be in English and its Spanish equivalent, which can sometimes be estar, sometimes can be ser, depending on the context and action. The great thing for you, being a Spanish speaker learning English, means that the process is easier for you. You just know there's one verb, to be. For us English speakers, it's difficult. We have to decide whether to use estar or ser every time we open our mouth. So, number one, the simple present tense. I do. Hago. Right now, that's what's happening right now. I do it. Number two, present continuous. I do it, and I'm continuing to do it. I am doing. Estoy haciendo. Number three, present perfect. This is about something that already got finished in the past. I have done. I have done it. Lo he hecho. Number four, present perfect continuous. This is something that was continuous in the past and could continue to be continuous up until now. I have been doing. He estado haciendo. Number 5, really easy, past simple, sometimes called preterite, which is easy because the word is almost identical in Spanish. I did at a point in time. Hice, I did it in the past at a point in time. Number 6, past continuous. This happened in the past, but it happened over a period of time in the past. I was doing it. Yo estaba haciéndolo. Number 7, past perfect. Past perfect is like present perfect, except it happened in the past. It started at a point in the past, and then it got finished at a point in the past. I had done it. Lo había hecho. Number 8, past perfect continuous. It's like past perfect, but it describes a period of time in the past. This event started at a specific time in the past. It kept going for a period of time in the past, and then it stopped at a time in the past. I had been doing it. Lo había estado haciendo, or había estado haciéndolo. I think the second one is more correct. Había estado haciéndolo. Future simple. I will do it. Its closest equivalent in Spanish is the future form of the verb. Lo haré. I hesitate to introduce going to as another form of future tense, but I have to use its equal ir a, which we use in Spanish all the time also, in order to explain the rest of the future tenses. But I'm not going to divide it off as another form of future tense, because the remaining 3 are future. Future continuous. I will be doing. That means at some point in the future, I'm going to start something, then there's going to be a period while I'm doing it, and then I'll be stopping it in the future. I will be doing. Voy a estar haciéndolo. Future perfect. I will have done. This means it's very similar to future continuous, except it's going to terminate. I'm going to start it at a point in the future, and then it's going to stop. I will have done it by 3 o'clock. That means before 3 o'clock tomorrow, this task is going to be finished, but I haven't started it yet. Voy a haberlo hecho. I will have done it. And finally, future perfect continuous, which is very much like future perfect, but it keeps on going. I will have been doing. That means I will have been doing it by 3 o'clock tomorrow. That means sometime before 3 o'clock tomorrow, I'm going to start this task, and I'm going to continue doing it for a while. But by the time 3 o'clock arrives, I will have started it. I hope that's not too confusing. I will have been doing. It might be less confusing to just consider the phrase, its equivalent in Spanish. Voy a haber estado haciéndolo. Those are basically the 12 tenses. I think this video is getting pretty longer. In future lessons, I want to take each one of these tenses one by one and talk about their applications in detail, because understanding and recognizing all the details of the conditions under which you would use each one of these tenses, these are some of the factors that will put you on the way to becoming a natural fluent speaker. There are a lot of cases in English where we use one tense in conversation, but we really mean another tense. And you do this in Spanish too. You probably just don't know that you do it. until someone points it out to you that you do it, because you learned a lot of unconscious grammatical rules in Spanish by learning as your first language. And likewise, I learned a lot of unconscious grammatical rules in English by learning it as my first language. And I know these peculiarities of usage in English in daily conversation, and I can help you to recognize them too. So stay tuned to this channel for more videos on subtopics on what I just talked about. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to join our Facebook group by the same name, Learning American English with Sterling. And I'll see you on the next video. Bye.